Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 445 for Tuesday the 29th of March 2016. So nice to have you here. I'm Robbie.
And I'm Jeff Weston.
Welcome to you, Jeff Weston.
Thank you.
There should be some fanfare or some cheering.
Or something.
You made it in. We're here. We've got internet. It went down just before we went live, and it came back up.
Perfect.
So here we go. It's going to be an awesome show. Tonight, we are looking at Bluetooth devices. From a coin-sized device that's going to help you so that you never lose your stuff again.
Yes.
We were talking about this before the show. This
Yes.
thing is awesome. You've seen some of them. I'm going to show you the best one that there is. Also, we're going to check out some improvements that have been made to Bluetooth wireless headphones.
I'm excited about that. I'll save that for later.
We got the
I'm
guy.
excited.
We got the guy. Former radio DJ in the house. What better guy to test headphones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully my eardrums haven't been ruined too bad. From those live
We will
concerts.
ruin them tonight.
Yes.
I got dubstep loaded up there, ready to go.
Excited. Also, we have some viewer questions tonight.
Oh, good.
It's been a while since we've done that. They've been piling up, and it's about time that we started addressing some of those major pressing issues that have been piling up. And
We're going to crack into that mailbag.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to make sure.
There's-
Also, Jeff, I've got Net Talk Duo 2s to give away.
Yes.
Free telephone calling anywhere in the U.S. and Canada.
It's exciting.
If you live in Sweden, you can get one of these and you can call and receive calls from Canada, U.S. I'm not going to get into it right now, but we got a bunch of these to give away, so stick around. Net Talk Duo 2s coming up. Jeff,
Yeah.
you got the news.
I do have the news. I do have the news.
Tell us what's coming up.
All right. Well, here's what's coming up in the Category 5.tv newsroom. A new iOS malware has been discovered that could potentially affect any device, even non-jailbroken ones. And a customer database and information about Verizon's security flaws were put up for sale by criminals last week. Frighteningly sophisticated form of USB malware has been discovered that can steal confidential data even from air-gapped computers. Microsoft is facing some difficult challenges in artificial intelligence design after its chatbot Tay had an offensive meltdown on social media. I was following that one. It was quite interesting. More AI news. They're writing some novels, and they're not half bad. And Ubuntu, I was excited about this one. There's a Ubuntu tablet. It's a standard tablet,
Oh, we've been waiting
desktop
for it.
computer, and more. Yes! Stick around. All the full details are coming up later in the show.
This is Category 5 Technology TV.
Welcome to the show. This is Category 5 Technology TV, and I'm your host, Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Jeff Weston. I'm not your host. I'm just the co-host.
My lid almost shot off and ricocheted off your forehead.
And in new tech, exploding pen lids.
Jeff, speaking of explosions, how do you like that for a segue?
That was great.
How about that there ice storm we had here in Ontario?
Wild. You know what? I know it was Ontario, but it really felt like it was just in Barrie because of all the power outages. Barrie equated to over 50% of the power outages.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. And
So, we broadcast from beautiful Barrie, Ontario.
That's right.
Thursday night, the ice started coming down from the heavens and coated the trees. The trees said, I don't like having 500 pounds worth of ice on my branches, so I'm going to let my branches go.
on the power lines.
All night long, Thursday night, all we heard in the forest was cracking trees, breaking branches, stuff crashing to the ground. Power's out, internet's out, infrastructure altogether was out.
Yes.
In fact, power was out for a day and a bit here in Barrie, in a lot of places. And where I'm located, our cellular tower, the service actually went down.
Really?
So I don't know if it was part of the tower getting covered in ice or if maybe they had no power for too long and people couldn't get in to refill the generators or what.
Oh, that could be.
So we had nothing. No internet, no power, no Tim Hortons.
So what did you do? How did you survive?
And no cell phone, so I couldn't even call anyone.
So no
and say-
technology.
so we didn't have any way to check the weather forecast. We didn't know if we were under some kind of crazy warnings or what was coming or what was already here.
Yeah.
All we knew is, okay, we got no lights, we got no internet, we got no cell phone, we've got nothing. It was like jumping back to 1943. 1843.
You know what? I can't say I was around in 19 or 1843, so I don't know what it was like.
It was a good year. Some of the viewers are going, yeah, I remember.
Exactly.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
For us,
no
though,
internet.
Yeah. For
Diseases
us, though,
rampant.
That's right. The Black Plague. But for us, though, it was interesting.
Not that we're making fun of the Black Plague. Sorry.
Yeah. So, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So you had no power, and we didn't
Yes.
have power either, but our kids got a kick out of it because it looked like fireworks were going off all over the place.
Hence the explosion segue.
Yeah. So we're sitting there having dinner, power goes out, and we're like, oh, okay, well, it's, ice, it'll eventually come back on. And then we notice the sky flashing colors of blue and purple and green and pink. And we're like, okay, that's some odd lightning. And then we realize it's transformers from all around are blowing up.
The poor electrical workers.
I felt bad, but there was a really cool video that one of my friends posted on Facebook. She just watched it. She was filming it, and the transformers just going psh, 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 psh. It was like right out of the movies where the sparks are going, and it was really neat.
And then we realize how incredibly reliant on infrastructure we are, on digital infrastructure and technological infrastructure. And then the cleanup. I mean, I think about the poor hydro workers who did a fantastic job getting us back up and running.
They're still working.
And they're still working.
Yeah.
And, tree branches are still coming down and so on. Our game servers at mindtest.tv, of course, went down.
Yep.
So we had, the UPS has 17 minutes worth of battery backup or something.
Couldn't survive a day and a half?
A day and a half later, there's still no internet, no power. So guess what? So that was really the worst that we saw of it. There was a lot of damage around, though. So I feel for those who had damage. So infrastructure is kind of back up and running. Obviously, we've got internet tonight.
Yep.
And people have been doing a great job of that. But the cleanup afterwards, not just
nuts.
physical. Driving down a road and having to swerve into the oncoming traffic lanes in order to avoid big trees that are on the road.
It's like a tornado scene in some areas.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
And then the ice coming down. A jogger was jogging the morning after, and a chunk of ice came down and hit them. Luckily, they were okay.
I didn't hear that.
Some of those ice chunks are 100 pounds.
Oh, easily.
Coming down off of a power line or the top of a street light. And so the street light comes on. They haven't all been upgraded to LED yet, so they generate a bit of heat, and then it slides down and falls off.
Yeah.
Cars driving on the highway that have, you think to scrape off your windows, but not your roof.
Not the roof.
And so, luckily I haven't heard of any casualties to that, but there was one particular image that the local authorities posted that warned, hey, you got to clear off your roof too, because this is what happens, and went right through the windshield.
I watched it. On the Saturday, we went to the in-laws for an Easter dinner, and while we were driving there, we're going down the highway, and I watched this van. It was one of the 7-seaters, or 11 seaters,
bus.
like the really long vans,
Mm-hmm.
and a solid sheet of ice just went, whoosh, just came off.
Oh my gosh!
Hit the vehicle behind. I thought sure the window was smashed, but the wipers go on. It just keeps going.
'Tis Canada. We just turn on the wipers and keep on going.
That's right.
Let insurance deal with it later.
Yeah, it was good.
Wow.
But I thought for sure it was going to smash his window, but it didn't. But I mean, the ice was thick. I mean, we were looking at our trees out front, and in some cases we had 2 inches of solid ice around the branches. It was nuts.
Heavy stuff. So that's what we were up to. How about you?
Yeah.
How's the weather in your neck of the woods?
Watching the chat room, people are going, it sounds like a Michael Bay movie. It's freaky.
The lights go out.
That's right.
The ice starts falling.
Yeah. But my kids learned about the shadow puppets. So we got, I guess that's what you call them, but we got the flashlights out, and for about half an hour on the ceiling, we're doing the birds and the dogs.
There you go.
They thought it was
you had to be creative. I, on the other hand, ended up being the guy that, we had no food that was accessible enough that you could cook it, or that you could eat it without cooking it. Because on weekends, I cook roasts and chicken dinners and things like that. So I started driving, and every single restaurant, lights are out. I found one restaurant that was about 20 minutes away. The lights were on, and I was like, yes! And they were closed for Easter holiday. Story of my life, people.
That's unfortunate.
So I drove. It was a 30-minute drive to the only Tim Hortons I could find with power.
Yeah.
I got through the drive-through. I got dinner for me and the kids and my wife, and got it home, and a half-hour drive home, and they messed up the order completely. So I don't know if I got someone else's order. So I was just like, I just wanted to pull out what little hair I had. So I'm like,
Go for the limp.
yeah, what do you do, right? I can't phone them and say, sorry, you got my order wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of my friends, she was in the middle of cooking her turkey.
No. Oh, yes,
Power
because
went
Easter
out,
weekend.
So she threw it on the barbecue.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Okay.
Till it became a burnt offering.
Dear me. It was so sad.
She posted a photo. I was like, ooh, that is one charred bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, turkey
I
doesn't
want
work
to slow
so
smoke
well
that,
on
but
the
you
barbecue.
need 10 hours to do it. So that's where we're at. Hey, welcome to the show. This is Category 5 Technology TV. If you're new here, like Mohammed Mamir is joining us from Algeria. Thanks for staying up late. It's like, I don't know, about midnight right now as you're watching. Thanks for joining us tonight. And if you're new here, I want to say greets to you. Nice to see our chat room is very active. Let's head on over to our viewer location map. And on our viewer location map, we can see, and you can see if you want to go over to map.cat5.tv, you can see all the viewers that are tuning in tonight. Hello to you over in all these places. Wow.
Actually, the Dominican didn't have to worry about an ice storm.
I'll bet you that didn't happen to you over there in the Dominican. And we've got a viewer there.
Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
Well done.
Welcome to the show. Let's head east over here. We don't have too many people watching in Algeria tonight, but in the northern end, I see you up there.
Like
so you're not
5.
alone there, Mohammed.
Wow.
We've got a fair handful of people watching up in the north end of Algeria. We've got a ton of people watching in Germany and over in Ireland and the UK. Welcome to the show. France is pretty well covered as well, and Switzerland, and even up in the western side of Russia. China, we've got a lot of you watching tonight. South Korea, Japan. So all that to say, hey, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Hey, if you love what we do here at Category 5 TV, we just love for you to support us and partner with us. And it's important because we do have to keep the internet up and running. We've got to keep the studio, we've got to keep the landlord happy, and that means paying the rent. And the rent check comes out in a day or two. So, hey, you can head on over to cat5.tv/Patreon. I think it's a cool way to support the show.
Absolutely it is.
You basically say...
25 cents.
Yeah. You say, you know what, I love what they're doing at Category 5 TV, be it Category 5 Technology TV, be it the Mindtest gaming servers, be it the Pixel Shadow, be it New Every Day or Creation Today or any of the broadcasts that we do on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. And if you love what we do, all you have to do is say, you know what, 25 cents a week, I can do that. So head on over to cat5.tv/Patreon. If 1,000 of you did this, and right now we're at about 43 people that are currently backing us in this way. It's so simple. 1,000 people could say, I can give 25 cents an episode and our rent is paid.
That'd be amazing.
It's really, we need it. We're volunteers here at the show. If we don't make the bills, then it comes out of our pockets, and that it's tough. So please consider supporting us. Right now, it's more important than ever. Our bills have been high, and the support, as I said, we've got about 43 people supporting us on Patreon right now. That's pretty low, considering you can see our map, how many people are watching around the world.
Well, we were just looking at stats earlier, like 75,000 or 750,000 a week or something like that.
We had we average about 10,000 viewers per day.
Yeah.
So that's people clicking on through Roku, through various means of tuning into the show. We try to make it as accessible as possible, and we offer it for free. So we're not asking you to pay for Category 5. We're asking you to say, hey, I'd like to see this thing keep going. We're in Season 9. We're serious about it, and we really need your support. Please consider heading on over to cat5.tv/Patreon. And we've got other ways to support us as well. PayPal is there. You can go to the Patreon page, and there's a big disclaimer up at the top. Hey, if you don't want to use Patreon, click here, and it'll take you over to our tip jar. And you can do it that way. And a lot of people do that as well. And that makes a difference. So I said 1,000 people at 25 cents an episode, our rent would be paid. 500 people, if we double that, if you can do 50 cents per episode, which is 50 cents per week, then that would be fantastic. Or maybe there's people that can give $2 an episode. And if you are that person, then it would only take 125 people.
Simple math.
That's it.
Simple math.
And you look at those stats, and we look at these stats and we say, wow, you're there, and we love that you're here and that we're able to offer this to you for free, but we want to be able to keep doing it. And it's getting tight, so please consider supporting us. Jeff, speaking of our patrons, I always want to make sure that there's some kind of perk for you. You know that we're giving away not one, but 2 teeny drones.
Yes.
So you can race a friend. These are micro quadcopters, and we're going to send 2 of those to somebody that is going to be drawn from the first 100 patrons. We're kind of tired of waiting, and I said, you know what? We're not anywhere near 100 just yet, so let's give something else away. And I pulled out these NetTalk Duo 2s.
Good deal.
They give you 3 months of free international calling, Canada, US, and you get the device absolutely free if you win. So we gave 5 of those away this week to our patrons.
5?
Surprise! Yeah, we just said, hey, you support us, thank you. Here you go. And some people wrote back and said, oh, I didn't even know the contest was happening. I'm a few weeks behind on the show. So just want to say congratulations to our first 5 winners. If you want to get in on that action, make sure you support us on Patreon as well. Again, that's cat5.tv/Patreon. But I know that not everybody can do that. Right. And so we want to make this accessible. We want to make sure that you can win this at home as well, even if you're not able to support us. Yep. So, they got first dibs, but I've got more of these to give away. And,
you don't say.
Well, the odds are a little less. When you've got 10,000 views a day, and I say, okay, now it's up to all of you. So your chances have just gone to about 1 in 400,000. But you could win this.
That's right.
And there's there's nothing to it. All you have to do is send me an email. It's contest@category5.tv. When you do that, just tell me your registered username on category5.tv. If you're not already registered, just head on over to category5.tv, sign up. It's free. Click on the register button up at the top. And then email me, contest@category5.tv for a NetTalk Duo 2. And that includes the 3 months of free long distance. So what is this? This is a voice over IP device that lets you cut the cord, cancel your phone service that you're paying $40 or $60 or $80 a month for. We're looking at Google's service as well.
Yeah.
They've just introduced home phone.
Home phone. They announced it today.
It costs more than this.
Yeah.
The feature set is about the same, but you pay what, $120 a year.
Yes.
This I'll give you for free if you win. And then to renew it is only about $40 a year. And it comes with unlimited calling. It's limited, but it's absurd as far as how much. It's like thousands and thousands of minutes. But technically it's I'll call it unlimited. But so check out episode number 444.
Last week.
Where we talked about this. We talked to Nelson Hudis from NetTalk about the device. But I've got 5 of these to give away to you. So contest@category5.tv is where you want to email your registered username. We're going to hold a draw next week.
My wife and I cut the phone cord about 5 years ago.
Yeah. No going back.
And it was
you wouldn't want to.
One of the best decisions we ever made from a financial standpoint when it comes to the phone. We save so much money, and the service is just as good. I mean, I've always heard...
Or better, I have to say.
Actually, yeah.
NetTalk Duo 2 comes with caller ID, call forwarding, call answer, like a voicemail system.
So everything you need.
It's got everything.
Yeah.
It's even got 911 service, which
That's
for
awesome.
voice over IP is...
It's a big deal.
It's got call porting. If you don't want to lose your home phone number, you can actually port your phone number, which means turn your home phone number into a NetTalk Duo 2 device.
That's great.
So you don't even lose your phone number. You don't even have to contact your family and friends.
That's amazing.
So what I did, and this is what I suggest maybe you do if you're wondering if it's going to work for you, is I installed it.
Yep.
I used it for 1 month first because it comes with 3 months free.
Right.
So use it for a month, see if you like it. Then say, okay, yeah, I do like it. Let's port my number, cancel my phone service. then you know that you're good to do that. You have just saved, if you're paying $40 a month for your phone service, $80. You cancel it and get those 2 months free.
Mm-hmm.
And then you renew for $40, and then you've got a full year's worth of service with the same phone number.
Awesome.
Can't beat it.
It's a good deal.
Okay. That's that.
Yeah. Cool. So, if you're just tuning in and you don't know, Category 5 is part of the what do you call it? Tech Podcast Network.
What do you call it?
That's right.
It's just that important.
It's true. If it's tech, it's here. cat5.tv/TPN and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters, cat5.tv/IAIB.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I always have to look because I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up.
I know.
It's the acronyms. I don't do well with acronyms.
Well, we could do cat5.tv/internet or International Association of Internet Broadcasters. That really goes long on a business card. My email address is robbie@cat5.tv/ Have you ever seen those? No. I'm in web development, so I get those all the time. Maybe we should shorten it down, folks. That's where the acronyms come in. You and I did a preview of the RetroPie on the show.
Yes.
How awesome is that you can take a Raspberry Pi microcomputer, turn it into a retro gaming console?
I love it.
You bought one.
I did.
You bought a Raspberry Pi 3. Tell me about the situation. How's it been going?
So
First experience with a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, I've never had a Raspberry Pi. You guys keep talking about it on the show.
It's a microcomputer. It's not something you eat.
That's right.
Go to cat5.tv/pi, and that's with no E. P-I.
Yeah, P-I.
All right, so tell me about it.
So I got the full Raspberry Pi 3 kit that comes with the case. And
Might
all
as
that kind of
well.
stuff.
It's like the same price as the Raspberry 2
awesome.
at this point.
Came with the micro SD card. It was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So hooked it up, installed RetroPie, threw the emulators on for the games that I've got at home.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was working well till I decided to load the N64.
I hit the same snag. I think I mentioned it on the show.
So with the N64, incredibly choppy. Like I've got Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Love the game.
So I want to get Mario Kart 64 going.
Tried to load that as well. It was choppy. So I went through all the Nintendo 64 games and they were choppy. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I started playing around with the settings because I thought maybe it's an emulator problem.
So are these settings within RetroPie, or did you do things like Raspy config?
No,
and then
within the RetroPie.
Did you do overclocking?
I did not overclock.
Okay, so that's something I might try.
Yeah, I did not overclock. I went just into the Raspberry Pi settings for the specific emulator. So when you load the emulator, you hit an A key.
You push any key as it's loading.
And you load the settings.
Okay.
So I went in there and set up specific frame rates and megahertz and all that kind of stuff for the Pi. And I tried different settings. And one of them, and for the life of me, I can't think of what it is right now, all of a sudden sped up to about 85-95% of what the N64 actually was, which was really good.
Wow.
Compared to what I was getting before, that was about a frame every 3 seconds. So
it makes me think, how good really was the N64? How ahead of its time?
Well, that's what I'm starting to realize.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was excited because now I can, for the most part, play my Nintendo 64 games.
Okay.
But the only problem I've run into is the PS3 controller won't work on them.
On N64?
On the N64.
But it works on the
every
Pi,
other
right?
emulator. Yeah, it works on the Pi and every other emulator.
Okay.
So we're still going to have to play around.
So disclaimer, it's not perfect, and it might take some tinkering, but it's pretty cool, and what a fun project.
Oh.
And are the kids enjoying it?
We spent probably 6 hours in a Mario 3 tournament. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The kids were discovering...
Is that like taking turns?
Yeah.
You take turns?
Yes.
Old school style?
Old school style.
Nice.
Yeah, because we were passing the keyboard back and forth, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
I haven't got the N64 stuff working yet either. One of the things that I did notice made a big difference, though, was to go into the terminal, hit F4, go into the terminal and type Raspy, RASPI-config, and then go through to overclocking and experiment with turning up the overclocking. And there are some profiles that are already preset there.
Okay.
The higher that you go, the hotter it's going to run.
Of course.
So how's the case that came with the kit? Is it got
it's
a
amazing.
lot of room?
Tons of room.
It's passive, though. There's no fan or anything like that.
No, there's no fan.
What about heat sinks?
The kit, came with 2 heat sinks, so I attached those. But the case is there's enough ventilation within it so that there's constantly free-flowing air.
Are there holes in the case?
Yeah, there's the big one in the middle. It's the shape of the Raspberry logo. There's holes all around the side.
I wonder if you could, with that, because you're going to hide it behind a TV anyway, could you get like a 120 millimeter fan or something like that and stick it on the top and blow in through the holes and let it exhaust out the sides and cool it down? That way you could overclock it like crazy and see if that's going to make all the difference.
Yes.
I've had good experience with it, and in fact, you loaned me one of your PS3 controllers, and we used it here on the show. It worked perfectly, but we didn't try the N64 stuff.
Yeah.
But when I gave that back to you, I wept a little inside. Then I went to a local store, and I found that they sell some off-brand PS3 knockoff controllers, and it was like, sweet, $20 for a controller. So I picked one up and plugged in it wasn't Bluetooth like yours was. It was some other thing, but it came with the dongle. Plugged it in, and it worked. Just like that. So it really made me think, hey, this is really good. I also picked up a Xbox 360 controller for it.
Okay, yep.
Because I thought that might work with the Bluetooth, but in fact, it requires a separate dongle from Microsoft.
Does it?
So I've ordered that. You can get one through our website, cat5.tv/pi, but it requires a dongle. The reason I wanted the Xbox 360 controller is because I heard that it also works on the Amazon Fire TV.
Oh.
As long as your Fire TV has a USB input, you can plug the dongle into it because Microsoft made it so that it would work with the dongle.
Right.
And it should work. Now I'm waiting for my dongle to come in. It's going to take a couple weeks from Amazon, but
waiting for the mail is just so frustrating sometimes because you just can't wait to get your new purchase.
I want to play with the Raspberry Pi. I want to play retro games.
Yes.
The kids love it. They found this off-brand knockoff of Mario in there that was in the...
Oh, really?
That was in the... just in one of the folders that came with it. So I don't know if it... I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
You know how it has like Quake Arena and
That's right,
a couple of other games that have been ports.
Yes, in ports.
Ports.
Yeah.
In ports on RetroPie, there was a Mario knockoff. And the kids love it. So they were sitting there all gathered around a keyboard, and everybody got their own controls, and they were playing retro-style Mario. It looked like a hybrid, better graphics like Mario 3, but the gameplay was more like Mario Bros.
Love it.
They loved it. So how cool is that? What's your experience been so far with the RetroPie? If you haven't already picked one up, you can go to cat5.tv/pi. Get your Raspberry Pi 3 kit, just like Jeff did. We found that it works with the PS3 remotes out of the box.
Yep.
But you're saying that maybe not with N64, at least at this point. We're going to have to hack that or work on it. I'm sure that there's some support.
I think it might be related to the emulator.
It might be, eh?
Yeah.
There are several different N64 emulators to choose from.
Yeah, so I may have to try a different one.
And this is all software. It's a really great interface. So check that out and let us know what your experience is like. Hello to our chat room. Nice to see everybody. LeechNX1 says, what comes with Quake Arena?
It does.
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
Quake Arena controlled by... I don't know if it works with the PS3 remote or not. I think I played it with the keyboard and a mouse.
Yeah, I played it with the keyboard too.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's fun. It's a load of fun, and it's a cheap gaming console. Yep. So,
Sasha got one too.
Sasha Dermatis picked up one. Yeah. Now, I haven't heard how that's been going.
I haven't either.
Anywhere?
I think she got it the day the power went out.
Oh, well. So she's basically stuck the heat sinks on, and then she's been back to work.
Yeah. So we'll have to find out from her.
All right.
Eventually.
Microsoft is getting really aggressive with their Windows 10 updates, upgrades. People have been successful in disabling the little pop-up that says you can upgrade for free to Windows 10. Click here to... So great, you can do some registry key entries and clear that out and get rid of it. So they say, okay, well, we don't want that. So they added the feature to Internet Explorer. So now, when a user brings up Internet Explorer, even with that setting turned off so that they don't get the pop-up, now Internet Explorer warns, hey, click here to get next in line for Windows 10.
Now, what about Chrome or Firefox or anything like that?
No, it doesn't affect them.
Okay.
So I've been saying it since 1942. Get rid of Internet Explorer, switch to Chrome.
That's right.
You know? Why are you still using Internet Explorer, folks? Get rid of it. It's a virus. But that's their tactic. And now, because it's part of the browser, there's no way to turn it off.
Yeah.
So just remove the shortcut, unpin it, and stick Chrome or Firefox on there, and you'll be good to go. I guess it's important to note that Windows 7 is still going to be supported until 2020. And that's 2016, so we still have 4.5 years to go.
Yep.
3.5 years.
3.5.
3.5.
Depending if it's the end of 2020 or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it depends on when they do it.
That's right.
Probably January 1st. But that's what it comes down to. I mean, your Windows 7 system, if you're running Windows, is still good until 2020, so you might as well use it if you don't want to go Windows 10. And I think a lot of that has to do with privacy.
Yep. See, and I haven't switched over from Windows 7. I still have it. I won't go Windows 10.
You're on Windows 10 over here.
Yes.
Not activated.
No.
Because I screwed up the installation process, and maybe you've done the same. But,
well, I've got a dual boot on my system, but primarily, I don't think I've booted into Windows in the last 4 months. So primarily.
Yeah, I don't do it. But our system, our video editing, and broadcasting software requires Microsoft Windows.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. So we're actually going to look at your system in a little bit after the news, I think, because you're going to get into looking at some Bluetooth devices.
I'm excited.
We're going to connect it to the laptop because the laptop has Bluetooth built in.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I've also got a iOS device here, a little iPod Touch, and we're going to try to connect some things to that. But in the meantime, I know that you've got some viewer questions that we wanted to get into.
We do have some viewer questions. Right. So the first one is from Whiskey Zero. He says, Barry looks cold. Great YouTube video. Happy Easter, everybody.
Hey.
So Whiskey Zero, thank you.
Happy Easter, Whiskey Zero. A little late now, but Whiskey Zero, most likely referring to, because it's Easter, I released a sing-songy type thing.
That's right. That was what, Friday?
Friday.
Yes.
For Good Friday, I released a song.
Yep.
So that's available on the Robbie Sings For You channel on YouTube with a 4, the number 4, and a U, the letter U. Or if you're on Roku, you'll see it for the next couple of weeks on our Roku channel, Category 5 Technology, or Category 5 TV network.
Excellent.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that.
Okay, so speaking of pie, we have a pie question from Orange Man.
Hey, Orange Man.
Says he's been using his Pi with an old 720p webcam.
Okay.
And his Raspberry Pi, I found that if I plug the camera in the USB socket and install Cheese, it works. Instead, using the camera that plugs into the long ribbon socket on the motherboard. Does the camera that plugs into the motherboard work better than the one using USB and Cheese?
I don't know about that. I mean, the USB on the Raspberry Pi 2 and beyond are really quite good.
Yeah.
The early model Raspberry Pi had some trouble with, frame rates, and the USB wasn't all that great. But the newer ones, yeah, I think you'll do just fine. If you get into really high frame rates and really high resolutions, you're 720p, so you should be okay. That's 1280 by 720. If you got into 1080p or 4K, it might be too much.
Yeah.
But that's really processor as opposed to USB. So it's really just an either or. I think where that ribbon cable connection on the Raspberry Pi comes in is if you wanted to make a self-contained unit that wasn't using USB and that you had something, like if you were building something like a surveillance camera or something like that, and you wanted it to be all kind of self-contained, there's a lot of kit that you can buy, like a special case that turns it into camera, for example.
Cool.
So those kinds of things are cool. That's where the ribbon connector comes in, but you could just use the USB camera. I think that works just fine. And if it's working for you, Cheese is a program that's basically allows you to access your webcam.
That's right.
So it allows you to take pictures on increments and do all kinds of fancy effects and
don't throw
all that kind of
Cheese
stuff.
Whiz onto your Raspberry Pi.
Not a good idea.
No,
not a good
definitely
idea.
not.
Jeff, we've got to take a really quick break. We're going to be back with more of your questions right after this. Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 445. Welcome to the show. Jeff, on with more viewer questions.
All right, so this one is related to actually our studio setup.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a technical question. Okay. It's going to take a little bit to get through it, but I'll try and make it quick.
Okay.
So
I'll take a break.
From Lancer's dad. Has been watching
hey,
a
Lancer's
video. of our production setup and wants to know, with our system, the webcam monitor shots are being fed into a PCIe 3.0 USB card. And he says we've mentioned that clearly, that connecting the cameras to a motherboard on the PCIe card combines the inputs on the same bus. The question is taking us back to a rudimentary, fundamental question that he's missed, and is how and in what configuration is and are the 3.0 USB PCI cards installed in the system?
On our system? We have a special motherboard that has separate buses.
Okay.
So our PCIe is actually dual lane. So that means, I think that means, we actually have two chipsets. So we have Matrox and NVIDIA.
Okay.
IIRC. This is going back, okay? So our motherboard, if I plug in one PCI Express card and then another one, those two are sharing separate lanes to the processor. So that's a little more sophisticated. But what you're wondering is about why we've done separate cards.
He was just wondering how we've got it set up.
That's kind of it. Really what it boils down to, when you're using USB, you have to remember, and this is another webcam-based question. So if you've got an HD USB webcam, you plug that into USB, it uses a fair bit of bandwidth. And it could oversaturate your USB bus or your USB chip. So if you have a single chip on your motherboard that's for USB, some motherboards now will have two, because you've got USB 2 and USB 3. You might have two ports that are USB 3. That would be the one to use for a USB HD camera. And then the USB 2 ports, you might have 6 of those. Those are the ones for keyboard, mouse, other peripherals that don't need the maximum speed.
Right.
So by separating those out, not having a keyboard on the same bus as the webcam, you're not going to be sharing the bandwidth. So that, where it becomes a problem is, okay, you've got two USB 3 ports. They're sharing the same connection, basically. And so if you plug in two webcams and they're both running 1080p, now you've got a problem where it might not be able to keep up.
Right.
That's a lot of throughput. So you stick in a PCI Express card that gives you yet another chip, another USB chip. I'm just simplifying it, but so that card becomes the processor for all that USB communication, and then down through the PCI Express bus, it goes out to the processor and all the other peripherals.
Right.
So by adding more of those cards, you get more bandwidth for USB peripherals, because each card is able to basically, we'll consider it like a capture device for USB in this case, because you're plugging in a webcam. The more cameras that you plug in, the more it's split among multiple devices. So if I've got X amount of throughput and I plug in two cameras, I now have X divided by 2.
Right.
So you're not going to have enough throughput. So adding more cards means more bandwidth, means less likely to have problems.
Awesome. Now, one of the things I love about the show is that we do have the live chat room. And so there's a question about what you've just said.
Okay.
From SoundPro69.
Hey, SoundPro.
He says, but I think Robbie F is still using one and the same PCIe controller for both, right?
No. My motherboard has two PCIe controllers or buses. So our cards are staggered so that, as I mentioned, I think it was I don't know if Matrox is the right one, because I think that's something else. But I have two different
show about making
chips.
your
A show. I filmed the build.
Right.
And put it up on Roku.
That's right. Okay. Is it still available?
It's 8 hours long.
Okay.
It is technically available, but on Roku, our extras, special features are currently offline, and that's because we're upgrading. We're doing some changes to our database. So when that comes back, special features, you can check out that video and you'll learn more about it. But yeah, I've got 2 lanes basically in our computer for PCIe, so it makes a difference.
Awesome.
But I think it would work.
Should we do one more question?
Do we have time? I think we should jump into the news.
Okay, that works for me.
If we didn't get to your question tonight, though, I do want to help you out. I hope that you'll send us your questions. Best way to get your questions into us right now is to go to cat5.tv/ask. You can also email live at category5.tv, but I would suggest if you do that, in your subject line, please type viewer question. Okay? It's very important because we do get a ton of email here. Yes. And it would really help us to filter it out. So honestly, what I do a lot of times, I go into email and I do a filter for viewer question. So that's the best way to get it to us.
Excellent.
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
Jeff is ready. So, folks.
All right. It's Tuesday, March 29th, 2016, and here are the stories we're covering this week. A new iOS malware has been discovered that could potentially affect any device, even non-jailbroken ones. A customer database and information about Verizon security flaws were put up for sale by criminals last week. And a frighteningly sophisticated form of USB malware has been discovered that can steal confidential data even from air-gapped computers. Tay, an artificial intelligence social media bot from Microsoft who learns from social interactions, became racist and called for genocide within 24 hours of being activated. Watch that one go down. That was interesting. More AI news. They're writing novels, and they're not half bad. And the new Ubuntu tablet is a standard tablet, a desktop computer, and more, and it's available for pre-order now. These are the stories coming right up, so don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Robbie Ferguson, and I love being a Vimeo Pro member. As a web broadcaster, I need an affordable video hosting platform that's as flexible as me. A Pro membership lets you upload up to 20 gigabytes of HD video each and every week with no additional bandwidth restrictions. That means if you produce a show that uses even up to 20 gigabytes of storage, your limit resets itself the following week, so you can do another 20 gigabytes. And keep doing that week after week. Now, Category 5 with all of our shows use roughly 10 gigabytes per week. From there, Vimeo automatically generates all the files that you need to provision your RSS feeds, Roku channel, website media player, or even video downloads in multiple bit rates, with no limits on your bandwidth usage or how many people can access your files. What's best? The price is astonishingly affordable. And for a limited time, friends of the Category 5.tv network will receive a whopping 25% off the annual price. All you have to do is go through our link, cat5.tv/Vimeo, and sign up today for your 25% discount. To top it off, you get 30 days to try it risk-free. If you're not happy with Vimeo Pro, you pay nothing. The deal is only for a very limited time. Go to cat5.tv/Vimeo.
I'm Jeff Wesson, and here are the top stories from the Category 5.tv newsroom. A new iOS malware has been discovered that could potentially affect any device, even non-jailbroken ones. This malware abuses design flaws in Apple's DRM protection mechanism called Fair Play. This technique, called Fair Play Man-in-the-Middle, lets attackers install malicious apps on iOS devices without needing to go through Apple's security measures. This malware is able to trick Apple devices into believing that they've purchased the apps legitimately and thus are free to install them on their device without paying. Sounds appealing, right? Well, the malicious part comes in where the author of the malware makes it so that it can install malicious apps onto the customer's phones without their knowledge. These apps then connect to a third-party app store controlled by the author that the user can download iOS apps or games from, but which reveal personal information such as Apple IDs and, frighteningly, your passwords. This incident should once again remind users that while Apple's walled garden approach does work for the most part, it's not infallible. Users have to take steps to protect themselves completely against such threats. One way of doing this, of course, we wouldn't give you the news without some sort of advice, is to simply use first-party services or software when it comes to device management and not resorting to anything third-party or fan-created. After a data breach at Verizon Enterprise Solutions, a customer database and information about Verizon's security flaws were put up for sale by criminals last week. The database reported, wow, that sounded like a cheesy newscast. Last week, something out of the Muppet Show or something.
How's the weather today, Jane? Well, the weather's just fine. Thank you for asking.
All right.
Moving right along then, Jane.
The database reportedly contained the personal information of 1.5 million customers of Verizon Enterprise. The entire database was priced at $100,000 or $10,000 for each set of 100,000 customer records. Buyers were also offered the option to purchase information about security vulnerabilities in Verizon's website. Verizon Enterprise is itself a seller of security products and services, often helping Fortune 500 businesses clean up after data breaches. How ironic. Verizon has already identified and fixed the flaw in its enterprise client portal that allowed the hackers to gain access to the database, which have been confirmed to have taken place. Now, 97% of Fortune 500 companies are customers of Verizon Enterprise. The contact information stolen from Verizon could be used in phishing scams and other attacks. Now, not long ago, we faced a bad USB threat, and now security researchers have discovered another sophisticated malware which can spread through USB devices. The USB thief, as it's called, seems to be a highly specialized thief since it penetrates networks undetected, leaving no traces and working only on the USB drive on which it was injected by the attacker. And according to researchers at ESET, it's also empowered with mechanisms that prevent the production that could be used for malware analysis and discovery. For connecting an infected USB device, the malware executes simultaneously with portable applications and runs in the background, posing as a plugin or a DLL file. It makes its way into the user's computer to steal data, and in no time, vanishes with no evidence of the damage being made. It's also capable of protecting itself against reverse engineering or analysis through an AES 128 encryption algorithm that also serves to bind the Trojan to a specific device. Yeah, the only prevention at this time beyond a DLP solution is knowledge. You, your family, your staff need to be aware to not connect USB drives from unknown sources for your computer.
That's scary.
It's very scary. And, okay, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in the past. I'm a Tom Clancy guy. Love his novels. One of the books is about this kind of usage of malware, done through USB devices or connecting other peripherals to a computer. But what it does is it goes to the source code in the binary and adds in a couple of lines of code that allows interactions from a back door. Hacking in, getting all your information. They use it to... Anyway, I'm not going to ruin the book.
I think about, have you ever been to a trade show?
Yeah.
Here, have a USB key. Here, have a USB key. All the boxes and boxes of free USB keys that come out of various areas that may not be super trusted.
Yep.
Could easily be infected with something like this.
Well, I mean, who's to stop? I mean, I hear stories like this, and immediately I go to the nth degree and I go, what's to stop a legitimate company from putting the same thing on the USB that they give you for free?
The NSA.
Da, da, da.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just it's tech. We live by it, we die by it. It's just the way it goes. Knowledge. Educate yourself,
Makes you think, though.
It's true.
Maybe when you get these USB keys, would it be safest to plug it into a separate Linux computer that's completely unconnected to anything? Remove all partitions. Recreate the file system. It's pretty complicated to get a free 8 gig USB stick.
But how many people would know how to do that?
Or know to do that?
Yeah.
How many times have you found a bag full of USB keys in your house and said, I can't remember what any of these were from?
I don't think that's ever happened to me.
That happens to me all the time.
I've got like
oh my
3.
gosh. I have like Ziploc baggies of USB keys that I just find.
That's amazing.
Because people just hand them to me and stuff. And so then when I need a USB key, what do I do? Because like in my pocket at all times, I have USB keys. Like I have one in my pocket today.
That's awesome.
But I will always have at least one, maybe 3 or 4.
Well, you never know when you're going to need... I always carry them for work. Generally for personal life, I don't carry them around the house. I don't have that many.
You're just not that cool.
It's true. It's true.
See how I reversed that?
I've just got my pie. That's all that matters.
All right. I talked you into that one.
Microsoft has admitted that it faced some difficult challenges in AI design after its chatbot Tay had an offensive meltdown on social media. Now, Microsoft issued an apology in a blog post on Friday explaining it was deeply sorry after its artificial intelligent chatbot turned into a genocidal racist on Twitter. Peter Lee, Microsoft's vice president of research, said AI systems feed off both positive and negative interactions with people. In that sense, the challenges are just as much social as they are technical. We'll do everything possible to limit technical exploits, but also know we cannot fully predict all possible human interactive misuses without learning from mistakes. Tay, an AI bot aimed at 18 to 24-year-olds, was deactivated within 24 hours of going live after she made a number of tweets that were highly offensive. Microsoft began by simply deleting Tay's inappropriate tweets, but later turned her off completely. Microsoft's aim with the chatbot was to experiment with and conduct research on conversational understanding, with Tay being able to learn from her conversations that got progressively smarter. But Tay proved to be a smash hit with racists, trolls, and online troublemakers from websites like 4chan, who persuaded Tay to blithely use racial slurs, defend white supremacist propaganda, and even outright call for genocide. Lee added, unfortunately, in the first 24 hours of coming online, a coordinated attack by a subset of people exploited a vulnerability in Tay. Although we had prepared for many types of abuses of the system, we've made a critical oversight for this specific attack. As a result, Tay tweeted wildly inappropriate and reprehensible words of images. We take full responsibility for not seeing this possibility ahead of time. Can you really call that attack?
Welcome to the internet, Microsoft. Have you ever signed up for a YouTube account and posted some videos?
Like, really, people...
Wait for the comments.
People are going to see how far they could take it. That's not an attack. That's curiosity. When she first came out,
I like kittens.
Yeah, but it was funny.
Hour one.
I was watching an interaction where there was a news reporter who was actually starting a conversation, and within about 8 tweets, she was putting up some pretty racy, dating type comments towards this guy, and he was just asking general questions.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we're at the point now where, okay, is artificial intelligence making it into the news because it's sophisticated, or is it because of our curiosity about AI?
I think it's both. Because so when I first heard about this, the one thing I said to my wife is this actually bothers me a little bit. Because if they're creating AI to have a general conversation with somebody, to understand conversation and how it plays out, what's to stop websites from throwing up chatbots that are going to interact with people?
How about
to
Facebook?
Steal your information?
Facebook
Absolutely.
is now counseling.
Yes.
Basically, counseling people that they find on the Facebook platform that are maybe have suicidal tendencies.
Yep.
And suddenly posting things to them electronically through AI, through machine learning. What's to say somebody doesn't take control of that or something? But I think what it boils down to, I mean, here, okay, yeah, we've built machine learning. We've got artificial intelligence. We've got conversation and learning and intelligence, so to speak. But where's the moral compass?
Can you program morality?
Where's the, if I'm set up, if I have been born to learn from my interactions, and you put me free on Twitter, and people are bombarding me with racist comments and things about this or that, how am I going to learn?
Yeah.
So if this is what is going to power the robots of tomorrow, what's to stop a robot, a killer robot, that's a real thing, from being persuaded by extremist groups?
Absolutely. And interestingly enough, because this thing is designed for 18 to 24-year-olds, we're talking about a specific generation.
They're the worst. They're the worst.
But we're talking about a small subset.
I've been there.
A small subset group of the millennials.
Yeah.
And I mean, based on lingo, based on personality styles, you're creating this AI with a group that is still learning to become adults.
I just pictured the first robot is going to learn from our 18 to 24-year-olds. They're just going to be, oh my gosh.
AI is learning from being.
Oh my goodness. Like totally.
I'm officially getting too old because I'm now going, them kids.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
I'm only
goodness,
early
when did
30s.
this happen? It's no longer cool to be cool.
I know. It's, okay.
Oh, you've got more.
I do have more.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay, the Nikkei Hoshi Shinichi Literary Award, I'm sorry if I butchered that one.
Sorry about that.
Isn't like other literary prizes. In addition to work authored by humans, it also considers the literary output of artificial intelligence software. Here we go, AI again. The results of the latter are surprisingly and a little bit scary, not that bad. Researchers from Japan's Future University, Hakade, submitted a short story called The Day a Computer Writes a Novel, and it comes across as something a human might have written. One passage reads, I writhed with joy, which I experienced for the first time, and kept writing with excitement. The day a computer wrote a novel, the computer, placing priority on the pursuit of its own joy, stopped working for humans. The contest began accepting AI-generated entries in 2014. I didn't even know this was happening. 4 such books were entered this year, with at least one accepted for the initial short list. 4 books written by a computer. That's nuts.
Wow.
Contrary to American-developed AI, the Japanese novel-writing AI is not a racist and does not intend to destroy humans. The fact that AI is able to mimic something as a human as writing novel shows its increasing flexibility and sophistication. We've already talked about how Google's using AI to answer emails on behalf of users, and even if artificial intelligence is not going to win any literary prizes soon, it is likely to be creating a variety of written products before too long.
I could see this working for technical manuals.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine if you teach the AI how your device works and let it spew out a manual?
Makes sense.
It would be probably better than a lot of the manuals that are out there.
And if you're programming it to do the work anyway, then it...
That's true. Who understands it better than itself?
Yeah.
Just give it the program. Give it the app and let it describe it.
Interesting stuff.
Neat. That's
All right.
cool.
All right. Not AI, but still technology. The arrival of the Ubuntu smartphone happened, and now it comes with an announcement of a new tablet powered by the popular Linux OS. It's the world's first tablet powered by Ubuntu, and it's called Aquarius M10. It is already available for pre-order in Europe and should begin shipping mid-April, just a few short weeks away. Now, there's 2 models available at this time, one with 1280 by 800 screen and the other one with full HD 1920 by 1080, with the latter featuring a slightly snappier 1.5 gigahertz processor. The key difference from other tablets on the market is that Ubuntu Aquarius M10 is a unique hybrid device of sorts. Use it as a standard tablet with all the features you'd expect from a touch device, but as soon as you plug in a keyboard and mouse, the OS itself changes to that of a desktop computer. Unlike most other hybrid tablets we've seen which try to have a single interface for all platforms, Ubuntu is doing it right by changing the interface depending on the case, on the fly. Users also have the option to attach an external display, which makes it a truly hybrid, take-it-everywhere device. Check out bq.com to see the Aquarius M10. I'm excited about this. I could totally use this in my job.
I think it's a great idea.
Right now, we're still bound to laptops in the line of work that I do, and I've said for a long time we need to be going to tablets. This would be amazing.
I think it's sweet.
I think it'd be totally cool. Anyway.
Well done, Canonical.
Big thanks this week to Roy W. Nash and myself for submitting some stories, and our community of viewers as well.
Way to take all the credit there, Jeff.
Well,
I wrote some of these stories, so thank you to me.
It pops up periodically, and I'm like,
I don't even include my name in the list. Do you want to know how much work I put into this show?
You're part of the community of viewers.
I know. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Wait till the day we have stories submitted by AI.
Maybe they were.
All right. Now, if you've found a news story that you like, you can send it to newsroom@category5.tv. For all your tech news with a slight Linux bias, visit the category5.tv newsroom at newsroom.category5.tv. For the category5.tv newsroom, I'm Jeff Weston.
Thanks, Jeff. This is Category 5 Technology TV. We've got to take a really quick break. We will be right back after this. You've got mad skills. Now hone them. Learn new skills or improve your existing ones with online video tutorials and training from lynda.com through our special link at cat5.tv/lynda. Learn software, technology, creative, and business skills you can use today to help you achieve your professional goals. Join today and start learning. We'll give you this chance to try it absolutely free with unlimited access to all of the courses. Sign up now for free, cat5.tv/Linda. Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Our website is www.category5.tv. My name is Robbie Ferguson.
I'm Jeff Weston.
Jeff! I know we're running short on time, but we've got some really cool Bluetooth devices that I want to pull up on the screen. Let's just reach up here. I have a little couple of buttons up here that I can...
I didn't even see that up there.
I know, right?
This whole show, I had
How
no
cool
clue.
is that? Whoa!
I'm clearly observant.
Check it out. Okay, we've got Chipolo. Chipolo, this is a clever little device. Should we just crack right into it?
Absolutely.
Chipolo allows you to find anything that may otherwise be lost. What do you tend to lose around the house?
My phone or my kids.
You could attach this to each child.
Okay, we'll go with the phone.
A phone or keys, I think, is a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, remote controls. The kids, it gets tucked in between couch cushions. It gets, I don't know why, but 3 kids at home, they'll battle over who has control of the remote, and one of them will hide it. We actually found it in the flour in the baking cupboard one time.
Really?
Figure that one out.
Huh.
Anyway, so if only I had Chipolo, we wouldn't have had to have about a week where we didn't know where the Amazon Fire TV stick remote was, and
That's
we could
unfortunate.
have done it. So, well, I know, right? But so let's crack into this. This is Chipolo, and Chipolo is a Bluetooth device because we are looking at Bluetooth tonight. Look at that, Jeff.
That's pretty teeny.
Oh yeah, it's just kind of stuck on there, and I guess you just pull the tab. It's got a battery in it.
Ooh.
It lasts for 6 months. Right.
Okay.
Right. So from now until when it dies, we've got 6 months worth of battery life.
Now, can you replace a battery, or do you need a new device?
You can, and in fact, good question, Jeff.
Ooh.
In fact, it comes with an extra cell.
Ooh, nice.
So there you go. So I've got a full year's worth of battery life. That's just a standard CR 2025. So if you want, you can now take the extra cell and replace the CMOS battery in your computer while you're at it.
Excellent.
So
what does Chipolo do?
Chipolo, all right.
How's it going to help me find my kids?
This is the first. Well, first of all, you got to duct tape this to their forehead.
Excellent.
All right. So it's about the size of a Canadian coin,
Yep.
which for you Americans, probably about 3 times the size of your largest coin.
That's right. It's because theirs is worth more than ours.
There you go. All right. Let's pull this up on. I've got an iOS device where, Jeff, I've already installed the app.
Okay.
And it's available in the store for iOS or Android or Windows Phone. Let's just zoom in here a little bit. There we go. Okay, so if I can get that so that you can see it. So the first screen that I get here when I bring up the Chipolo app is setup. Okay, so in order to use your Chipolo, you need to enable permissions as listed below. Okay. Obviously, we want Bluetooth, right? Location services. Why do we want to reveal our location? Well, what's neat about the Chipolo is if I've lost my keys or something, I can actually look at it on a map according to the specification.
Really?
So I can actually find it physically in proximity to where I am.
Now, are we talking generic map, like it shows you your city and goes, hey, it's right here, and you're like, thanks, wonderful, that's where I am? Or are we talking pretty close?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
Let's check it out. Okay, so that's why we need location services anyways. Push notifications, of course. We want that. Reason for that is if I lose my phone or my iOS device or whatever it is that you're programming the app on, I can shake the Chipolo and it will buzz my device. So if you've lost your phone, you don't have to tape one to your phone because the Chipolo will be in constant communication with your phone over Bluetooth.
So if it's attached to your keys, shake your keys and it'll tell you.
Precisely.
Love it.
So it's bi-directional. So if I lose my keys, I can use the app. If I lose my phone, I can use the keys.
That's amazing.
All right? Let's check it out.
excited
Okay,
about this.
continue. Enable location service and push notifications for all the features to work properly. Of course. We've just been through that. All right. Oh, I need to actually touch it to enable. Allow, enable, allow. Okay, good. Okay, continue.
That's where we need the AI user manual.
Create a new account. Can I just sign in with Google? That will kind of expedite things here. So I'll use my Google account. Let's give it a go. It's already filled it all in. That's good.
That's awesome.
So I'll click on my account. Great.
There you go.
And then it asked me if I want to sign in with my account. So nice Google authentication. That was nice and quick. And next up, new Chipotle. Okay, so tap here to add. Okay, so now it says place the Chipotle on that spinning circle. There we go. I've done it.
You're covering the screen. How do you know if it
Place
works?
here. Well, it just says place here. Yeah, I know, right? Remove the plastic tab, which I did. Place the Chipotle in the circle.
Do you have to activate it? Or is the battery dead?
That's what I'm thinking is doing.
Huh.
It's in the circle, Chipotle. Place here.
Is Bluetooth enabled on your phone?
Yeah, because remember that was part of the step.
Right. Okay.
So and the Bluetooth indicator is here. I could try the changing the battery. Let's see. So open it up. There it is. So it's just a straight. Looks pretty simple. There it is. Okay. So I'll throw in the other battery just in case. Boom boom. Boom.
Oh.
There we go. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, it played before when you pulled the thing.
Yeah, it did.
The tab out. So.
Okay. Now let's try. Just in case. Come on, Chipotle. I've heard nothing but good reviews, but hey, it's not going to get one tonight.
Look at that.
Searching. Remove the plastic tab. Place your Chipotle in the circle. There it is. All right, Chipotle. Massive fail.
Oh, that's too bad. What if we left it while we went to one of the other devices?
You know what?
Maybe take some time.
I did what I was instructed, and it didn't work.
Okay.
So what do you say?
Myth busted.
We will look, I will contact Chipotle and say, hey, the device that you sent for us to review did not connect. It beeped.
It did.
I followed the steps. It has some really great features.
I wasn't excited about that.
Oh, come on. 6 to 12 months with a single battery. And you can actually share your Chipotle account with family and friends so that they can locate stuff. If I lost my phone at your place,
right,
you could actually log into the app and see where my device is located in your house. But it's not connecting.
So theoretically, but it's only Bluetooth, right? So it wouldn't work for long distances. Because what I'm wondering is, could you take the Chipotle, attach it to, say, like your kid's backpack for your kids being at school?
Absolutely, you could.
So you could?
Sure. I just want to experiment. I'm going to turn off Bluetooth on Jeff's laptop. I just want to make sure that it's not a case of Bluetooth interference or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Could I try that?
Sure.
Well, because you have Bluetooth on the laptop, because we're going to be demonstrating that later.
Right.
So I've just turned that off. Let's try again. And it's still a fail. It's not taken.
No.
Sorry, Chipotle. Sorry, folks. Looks like a fail to me. Oh,
it did work. Chipotle found, look at that. It was the computer.
Bloomin' goodness. If you've got another device on because see, Windows 10 is constantly polling Bluetooth.
Right.
It's waiting for a device to synchronize.
So
what I did over here on Jeff's computer is I clicked on turn off Bluetooth. And by doing that, now all of a sudden Chipotle works.
Right.
Okay. So this can continue. So I'm sorry, folks, but hey, you know what? Sometimes I think that these things happen for good reason, because we learned that, and I got to show you that. So that's good. You had a similar thing happen with your Raspberry Pi where you're trying to synchronize the PS3 controller, and what did you realize?
I was trying to use two PS3 controllers so I can have two players going, and it wouldn't recognize the other one.
Remember when your PS3 was actually on, though?
Oh, yeah, there was that
the first time?
Yeah.
PS3 was on, so when you turned on the controller, it wouldn't connect to the Raspberry Pi.
I actually had to unplug the PS3 because every time I hit the
similar situation,
it would turn it on. So,
neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we have it, folks. Okay, Chipotle. Let's just call this Chipotle. Chipotle. I love Chipotle, so I like Chipotle. All right, it's got a smiley face. It's been set up and linked to my account. Now what? it says my Chipolo is close at hand. So Jeff, if you actually take this, and now if I touch this,
Yep.
it's ringing the
beeping.
Chipolo. So if I've lost my keys, I can push that on the app. And it actually rings. Hold that up to your mic there, and people will really... So that works. It shows me the temperature of the Chipolo device itself. I don't know if you can see that at home. 30 degrees. It just went up. Oh, it's touching your face. Look at that. You are hot commodity.
I know I am.
Over there. Okay. We've got firmware updates. We've got, okay, very near. It says Chipolo is very near. So I guess if it gets further away, does it say close at hand?
Should I unplug
Can you
my
reach
mic
out?
and head out?
Reach out.
Okay.
It says very near now. So apparently you're closer now.
Oh.
But it is fairly close. All right, so let's see what other features we have here. So I can see my Chipolo. I can set
a
up
selfie.
quiet zone. Take a selfie with my Chipolo. I guess, does that mean that it works as a... Chipolo would like to access my camera, it says. So does that mean that Chipolo is... So if you shake it, what happens?
I don't know. I'm shaking.
Shake the Chipolo.
Shake is showing up on the screen.
There you go. Yeah. Look at that.
No
And it took a
way.
picture. So
Somebody steals your phone.
you can take their picture.
That's an amazing feature.
Ah. Well, what about if you just want to take a selfie, you set your phone up on a tripod or whatever, or on a rock,
Yeah.
and then you shake your Chipolo and smile.
That works too. See, I'm thinking security. You're thinking vanity.
I'm thinking you got to be able to... Look at the shock and surprise. What? Is it taking my picture? What the?
Wow.
And it lets me share it. Okay, so now how do I get back? Save to photos. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fun.
That's kind of cool. And there we go, saved. All right, so now it's back. Let's go X. I'd really like to be able to find out... Now, the app looks incredibly simple. What happens now if you actually shake that?
I'm shaking.
Okay, so if I've lost my phone, shake the Chipolo,
You can find your phone.
and I can find my phone. Nice. Okay. Beyond that, now I don't see a map,
Quiet zones, yeah.
but it says list map. It's made a map, and it's
Yeah.
incredibly accurate. Okay, so can you actually run down to Big Bay Point Road?
Right now?
Would that be okay? No. But seriously, okay, so that's very accurate. That is where Studio D is located here in Barrie, Ontario.
Now, how well does that zoom in?
Oh, I can zoom in? Oh my goodness. Holy cow. So it gives me a radius of where the Chipolo is actually located. So if I've lost it, if I've lost my keys...
So you left it at a friend's house or something?
Then I can switch back to the list and go to my Chipolo, and I can see if I'm closer. It's like a warmer, right? Until
okay.
finally you know that it's in the near proximity.
Now, but if it's Bluetooth, though, how would
Yeah.
it work if you're outside of Bluetooth range?
Well, you get about 200 meters or so.
I have no clue.
So I guess when you share it, so if I shared it with your phone, so if I actually shared my Chipolo with your phone, if I know that I left it at your place, then I could share the account with you so that you can now tell me if it's at your place. Right?
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
So then the idea of putting it on your kid's backpack, like some people do have phones for their kids,
Sure.
have Bluetooth on all the time. That way you know where your kid is at all times. I mean, if
they have a phone.
they have a phone, yeah. If they don't have a phone,
Because you would share the account with mom and dad and be able to track their Chipolo.
See, that would be all right.
He's always thinking security, folks. Okay, that's cool. All right, so it took a bit to get it running, and it was because we had Bluetooth enabled on the Windows device. So what do you say if we throw Bluetooth back on there?
Done.
It's a looking. See how Windows 10 is always looking for devices. So we have the Vespid. This one comes to us from Victor Singh, and you can find out more. Go over to cat5.tv/Bluetooth, and these are Bluetooth earbuds.
Excited.
Bluetooth has really come a long way, and these earbuds are wired wireless, so the wire goes between the two of them. You've got the receiver and controls in the middle here. Let's take a quick close-up. So here are the controls. Whoa, it's backwards. There we go. So we've got power, volume up, volume down, and volume up, volume down. If you hold them in, also go fast forward to the next track or rewind to the previous track. Also, it has a built-in microphone. So if a phone call comes in, you can tap the button and it will answer the phone.
Over. Right.
Not only that, it will sync to up to 2 devices. So if you're sitting at a Bluetooth-enabled TV, watching a show in the comfort of your earbuds, you can actually take a phone call.
Oh.
So because it would be
now,
connected
would it cut
to both.
the audio out on the TV, or would you hear both?
It would cut the audio out.
Okay.
You would be able to switch between them.
Okay.
So let's, I'm going to power these on by holding in the power button here.
Okay.
And over on your Windows 10 machine, now I'm going to hold this in and you're going to hear power on. And then I'm still holding it. There we go. So now, look at that.
Vespid
ready to pair. Okay, so if you click on that.
And pair it.
Pair it.
Status bar.
Nice. And it's gonna pair right up. Jeff, do you want to throw these on?
I would love to.
So they're a really good design. That's your left ear there.
Perfect.
That's your right ear.
Cool.
And see this little kind of strange flap of rubber that actually goes into your ear to hold it in, so that if you're jogging or whatever, it's gonna hold it in there for you. Nice. Okay, so that's actually connected as you put those in.
Okay.
Throw them in.
Yep.
Give it a go. I have some, and that would go behind your head typically. So if you're going for a jog, you'd have the wire behind your head. And then I guess you find the controls are on your left, or on your right there. So if you bring up, let's see, on your computer, I've got...
I just realized I'm going to have to take one of them out or I can't hear. It actually cuts out the noise really well.
That's really great, right? So you get rid of the ambient noise for sure. Okay. I've got this set up for you, but with Goldwave, what you're going to have to do first is we're going to have to bring up your config, and you may have to go into, if you're on Windows, for example, or Linux, you might have to go playback devices, change your playback device to the Vespid stereo. And you notice that there's also headset, which is the Vespid, and that's because it also has the call answer. Like that's a telephone.
Right, because you got the little microphone.
So it's 2 devices. So we want to set this one as your default, which would allow it to, where are we here? Set as default there we go. Okay, well that's fine. So that's set. Okay, so that might be all you need to do. Now, because we're using this, we're going to pull down here and go headset Vespid stereo. So now when you hit play, you're going to actually hear those coming out of, that should work to come out of your Vespid. You've only got one ear in.
I've only got
Throw in the other ear.
All right.
Let's see how it sounds.
I'm going to tune you out.
I don't hear a whole lot coming off of this. How's it sound?
That's great.
Sound pretty good?
Yeah, not bad.
And so stick them both in, give the head a shake, and see how this thing works. These are available at cat5.tv/Bluetooth. And they're very affordable, and they're excellent. Now, these are 20 to 20,000 hertz, so full range sound. You get the best sound possible out of these headsets, the little earbuds. And as Jeff was mentioning, they isolate the sound very, very well.
Now, one thing I will say, if they're not right in your ears, bass drops right off.
So you get them in there?
So you got to make sure they're in.
How comfortable are they?
Pretty comfortable.
Think about extended wear.
I don't know if I would wear these jogging, though.
How come?
Because they do stick out fairly far, and I think the weight would pull them out of your ears.
Even with the things that kind of... So as you put that in your ear, kind of push that into the groove of your ear. Let's see it on this side so I can see how you're doing it. I know you can't quite see at home. Maybe he can... So it's in there? Yeah, there you go. So give it a good shake.
Yeah.
And one popped out?
Yeah, if I'm going
You got weird ears, man.
If I'm going at a solid pace, I do think they might fall out. But
who jogs like this? Okay,
you
so
clearly never
they
seen
sound
me run.
good. Yeah, obviously. They sound good?
Yeah, no, they do sound.
They're a great deal.
Well. Yeah.
And then the DJ in you can pause that. We're going to have to sync another device. The DJ in you wants to try these on. These are the Rebel RTs, are
I
they?
do wanna
the
try
BTs.
this
Rebel BTs from House of Marley. These things are amazing. 15 to 25,000 hertz.
That's a lot of hurting going on.
Yeah, you know what? Anybody who knows what that means, Sound Pro, you probably understand that. That means really low bass and really high treble. Really clear
all about
sound
the
means it's going to
bass.
sound amazing.
About the
It's
bass.
all about the bass.
And treble.
All right, let's check it out. These are packaged in 100% recycled material.
Which Marley does a lot of.
They do.
Yeah, that's exciting.
They care. They're eco-conscious. I'm going to fire these up.
Okay.
And if you go back to the Bluetooth, I'm holding in the power button.
The Rebel.
Oh, it's already there?
It's already there.
Just like that?
So quick.
All right, so pair it. Pair it. There we go. All right, it's almost there. Okay. These things are cozy.
They look cozy.
They really do. They're sharp. This is the Rebel BT from House of Marley. They feel good. They look great.
Nice.
I could see jogging in this. It worked. All right.
That's awesome.
Do you want to jump into back into Goldwave?
Yes.
And change your playback device in the devices and get that up and going. So change that to the Rebel BT.
Hands-free or stereo? Let's go
Stereo.
Stereo.
Yeah, apparently it's got the phone service as well. And hit play and see how that sounds. Eargasm.
Oh.
15 to 25,000 hertz on a wireless Bluetooth connection. So he's free of all wires. This is Jeff Weston. He was a DJ in radio, so he knows. And I could say anything right now and he'd have no clue what I'm talking about. He's listening to dubstep.
That's good
Jeff
sound.
is strange.
I may just wear these for the rest of the show.
they great?
I
How
really
do they
don't
feel?
care about the rest
Okay,
of
how
it.
do they feel?
They're comfortable. The sound is incredible.
They do sound great. So
This is audio euphoria right here.
I tested the Rebel BT for an extended wear, and I wore them, I'd say, about 4 hours straight.
I have no clue what
No
you're
trouble.
saying.
Yeah, I know. They sound fantastic. They feel great. They don't have that, sometimes the bigger headphones tend to hurt after a while.
Yeah,
And
no,
this
they
has a lot of
don't.
hertz, folks, and it doesn't hurt. They feel really good.
Will the mics pick it up? Like,
So the mic, okay, so the Rebel BT here, I haven't done this, brand new. Open it up. There we go.
okay.
So this is there's a charge cable, which is standard USB.
Yep.
It's got 12 hours of straight playback.
Really?
Which to me means several days worth of listening.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. The cable, if you want to go plugged in, you can use them as plugged in headphones, but
Yep.
also this gives you the ability to have hands-free.
Okay.
So it has the hands-free answer and a built-in microphone in line with the cable. So when you're listening with just the headphones, it's just great audio. If you want to be able to take phone calls, you need the cable. It's as simple as that. So that just plugs into the headphone. Now this, as well as the Vespid that we looked at, can I take a look at these? I know you don't want to give them up.
I really don't.
I know.
I want to take those
So
home
these
with me
have
so bad.
controls built in. These are wireless controls. So you see that we've got power, play, pause, and volume control, fast forward, rewind, and there's the input for the cable. And it does look like there's a little microphone there. I don't know. I haven't tried it. It does look like that's a mic. That does look like a microphone
mic.
to me. So it's quite possible. Maybe it does have a mic built into the headset itself.
Wow.
But those are great. I haven't had the battery die yet.
Microphone with one button remote. Look at
Microphone with one button remote. So, hey, there you go. Check them out. This one we do not carry at this time. I hope to carry them soon. But check them out at houseofmarley.com. If you do see them on Amazon, please use our Amazon links. That's going to support the
Yes.
show. But they are fantastic. And I do love the Vespids as well. These are the Vic to Sing that we do have on our shop.
Yep.
They're fantastic. I like them for doing stuff around the house. But honestly, these things are awesome.
That. Yeah.
Gotta
That's
say.
really good. Now it's funny as we're trying these out. I said to my sometimes I'll go to bed.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah, the odd time. I'll
I am
sleep.
not an android. I do sleep.
But sometimes I'll go to bed and I'll want to listen to music just to kind of, lull me into bed. But I've said that I don't have good earphones. I would like something that's just low profile,
Yeah.
Bluetooth. So, I mean, I'm kind of excited about these, but I think they'd stick out a little bit.
I couldn't lay on these.
No. No, I don't think you would.
They're really isolating too, eh?
Yeah. I had no clue what you were saying.
How about these ones?
They're pretty good.
They stick out pretty far, though.
They do,
So
yeah,
in
so
bed,
you
they
could-
may be tough.
Yes.
Unless you're a back sleeper.
No, I'm a back snorer, so
Okay.
yeah, I do the sides.
So there is that. But I think both
But still,
are
both
excellent
work really
options.
well. Yeah.
Very good.
Wow.
So those are the Victasing Vespids, which are available at cat5.tv/Bluetooth. And then we've got the House of Marley, the Rebel BT, which are probably the best Bluetooth headphones that I've heard.
Absolutely.
Gotta say. So you want to get your hands on
Absolutely.
either or both of those options.
And make sure you put your Chipolo on them so you don't lose them.
Don't ever lose them. You could stick it right there.
It's true.
There you go. And it looks fashionable. That is more than enough time, folks. I know we are overtime tonight. Jeff, thanks for sticking it out with me tonight.
It's my pleasure.
Fun time.
Yeah, lots of fun.
So, folks, have a fantastic week. Today's upload is going to take doubly as long. We'll see you next Tuesday night.
See ya.
Goodbye.